This is Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo for Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous, and today I have another Starship review for you, this time the Cutlass Red. Today I bring you the Cutlass Red. It is almost the polar opposite of the Cutlass Blue. The Cutlass Blue's main job is to take other ships down, but at the same, not killing the crew, but taking them prisoner. The Cutlass Red's main job is to go and seek out starships that may have met a fatal end, or might have hurt people on board and take them back to a hospital ship to be revived. There you see the only weapon system that comes on the Cutlass Red. It is a neutron cannon. It is possible to fit more weaponry on this ship. However, this is an ambulance. It is not a combat ship, and the neutron cannon is there mainly for defensive purposes. Here we see the same TR-3 maneuvering engine, and above that and just forward you could just barely make out the Nav E7 scanner, which is there to help find lost pilots during battle or everyday search and rescue. The power plant is also housed in the hump up top, and it is a size 3. It is the ANR LR7 Max Overdrive. And here we see the HE 4.4 engines, which are just a little bit smaller than the ones on the Cutlass Blue. However, the same Tier 3 maneuvering thrusters are here to help land this aircraft gently in any asteroid hangar or starport. The landing gear is the same. The body is slightly different. We heard from Ben Lesnick in a fact that was released in general chat that each of the 3 ships do have unique hulls, which means that each one of them is going to have some specific things that only it can fit. Meaning you can't turn a blue into a red, a black into a blue, or vice versa. But you can put the same equipment in it and come up with something that's kind of a hybrid. Here we got that same stance that still looks like a bird to me. And of course you can make out the rescue symbol over there. Now something to understand about this is that all of the Drake Interplanetary Cutlasses share the same maneuverability potential. But because of the weight and engines that are going to be put on them, that might be different. Here we see another one of those HE 4.4s from Hammer Propulsion in the rotating engine mount. And we're going to move forward again just to see if this looks the same as it did on the Blue. And yes, it does indeed. And that does look like it's able to rotate through a 360-degree spin. And again, we're going to walk up to the wing root. I do think that these are maneuvering thrusters to help during landing. And that landing bay, the landing gear bay, just looks amazing. As does the rest of the ship. I'm not sure what that is. Again, a definite unique hull design. Different pieces and parts are on this ship. When we looked at the Blue, it seemed to be a little bit beefier over here. And over here we have a little bit thinner with what looks like a dorsal turret. The neutron cannon does pack a powerful punch, but it does have slow projectiles, even though they're energy, I'm calling them projectiles, which means that this ship is not going to be able to dogfight, it's just there for defense. I wonder if the gunner in the back, or the Rio, could spin that around and fire at targets off-center. We're going to go up and watch the animation and see if it's any different for this ship than the others. I don't think it should be. I don't think the unique hull design is something that's over here. But let's see if we have that little blip at the end of the climb. The animations are done extremely well, but I think this one piece right here, yep, he just went boop and he was up. So let's go take a look at the top of this ship. Come on, let's jump up here. You can clip through this stuff right now. I'm sure that the ribbing will be changed so you don't clip through it. That's that long-range scanner that we were talking about before, the Nav E7 long-range scanner, which helps in identifying the lost pilot from debris. And what looks like just a lights and stuff that you would have on any one of the ships that would be an ambulance. Not sure what that piece is as we fall off the top of the ship. Let's go back up. When they put damage models on people, I wonder if that will break my leg. That would be realistic but stupid because you could fall off your ship so easily in this game. Okay, let's get back up here. The animations from this side are good too, but let's see if there's a change here. Yep. I wish that would just go away. The wing root looks kind of nice. I'm looking at the detail and kind of the reflectivity over here. At the same time, you could see what looks like some wearing just to the right side, to the left of that black piece. So they've done a good job at making this ship look like it's been used, but at the same time like it's maintained. So let's take a look inside the ship. Very shiny ship, isn't it? Just like a fire engine would be. Firehouse and the EMTs keep their ship shape. Let's go inside the cockpit. It's slightly different than the cockpit inside of the Blue. And let's see if there's any difference in the visibility. Oh, you can see almost immediately that there was. So let's take a look around the ship. Well, that visibility loss would not be there if the seat was moved to the center like it would be in the persistent universe. Currently, the seats are stuck to the left, but when you use this ship, in reality, the seats will slide to the center. Taking the spin around the ship, we can see different pieces of it. It's just a gorgeous ship. Just so you know my system specs, I have an AMD FX 9370, I think it is. And I think that's a 4.3 gigahertz AMD. It's an 8-core system. I'm running a NVIDIA 760 GTX with 4 gigs of RAM in it, and it's slightly overclocked, but that's the way it came. I'm trying to show you the rails, but it doesn't look like you can see the rails. You can see pieces, but it doesn't look like they modeled the system that would move it. They're just going to move it, which is different from the Constellation Phoenix and Aquila reviews where I showed off the escape pods where it looks like the whole system was modeled. We got to look inside here. It seems to share visibility with the black. I don't know what these pieces are for. I'm sure those yellow racks are going to be for other equipment that you could put up there. All right. Close this. There is no turret, so nothing will come down, but you could look right up into the scanner, which is kind of weird that it's hollow. Again, I probably would have designed the interior a little bit different. I would have set the racks coming out vertically and put a couple more on each side. And I would have put both of the tables, both of the surgical tables on one side and the racks on the other. I'm sure in the grand scheme of things they could be balanced out. And I would definitely put some kind of a bathroom in this ship. Why? Because it just makes sense. The ship is very, very shiny, gives off a look of being clean, something like you would expect from a vessel that might be conducting surgery out in the field. Might not be a hospital ship, but it is a first responder, and at times you would expect that they could do some light surgery here. I wonder what this bed does. I think they actually help to stabilize the patient. But the two beds look different, and I'm going to show you why. In the corner over there where you see the steam coming out, and in the corner over here where you don't see steam coming out, it seems like two different materials that cordon off the system. They're not symmetrical, so I'm wondering if they're different or if it's just a loss being the first pass of the ship. All right, up there is where the tractor beam is housed. I've showed that off before, but just in case some of you did not watch my last video, just showing you off the different things that I would do here. Let's open up the back. One of these buttons will give you the opportunity to use the tractor beam, and that might be how you drag in one of the pilots that might be floating around in his escape pod. Now, I really do think that it would make sense to put the racks on one side and the tables and possibly a bathroom or some kind of surgical area on the other side, or maybe a holding area for equipment. Maybe they need other equipment to leave and go out there and get them. The other piece that was offered up inside the FAQ is that The Cutlass Black has a docking collar on the bottom. It's being moved just to the top, right above where I am over here. Move forward, and I'm thinking that they're going to have some kind of a airlock system with that. So you can exit and enter the system, well, the spaceship, without spacing everybody inside of it. Let's take a look at it. Jump over this light. It's a nice ship, and I have it for a purpose. This is something I will be keeping. Search and rescue is one of the things that I intend to do. It was stated that the Gladiator could do search and rescue too, but it does not have a hold like this, so I would expect this to be much more useful. Unless the Gladiator is the search and rescue craft that goes out and finds the lost pilot, lost people, lost passengers, and then flies in the Cutlass Reds to pick them up. Not sure how the mechanic is going to work yet, but search and rescue is going to be a mechanic in the game. And a very important one if you're taking part in Operation Pitchfork. I know I said that twice now, just trying to give them as much credit as I can. I'm really liking this ship and the other one. The Blue is going to be my main bounty hunter ship, unless the Avenger comes out to be a much better ship. I'm not going to get rid of my Avenger yet. I think it's going to have other purposes for my fleet. But this ship over here definitely will be used for probably get-togethers with my organization. I'll fly around in this and pick up anyone that might be shot down. Or maybe I'll have one of my NPC player character slots fly around in it to pick me up if I get shot down. I'm very impressed with the modeling of this ship. I'm very impressed with the modeling of all the Cutlasses at this point. Although I was disappointed by the interiors, I was then pretty pleasantly surprised when Ben said in his FAQ that they are prioritizing the re-gray boxing of the interiors and they're going to correct some of the issues with them. I'm hoping that they do move around some of the items like I said, but mainly what they're going to be doing is building that airlock system for being able to board other ships. Having that on top, I don't know how that's going to work. It's going to change the whole design entirely. But I guess it's just something that we have to get used to. Things that were announced early on in Star Citizen have changed, many of them. But it seems like they got their act together and they have a pipeline and a way to get things done easily, more easily today. So this has been the Cutlass Red review. It's a little bit shorter than the Blue, mainly because you're going over similar specs. But nonetheless, each one of them deserves its 15 minutes of fame on my channel and my ship reviews. That's all I got for you today. So with that said, I'll talk to you soon.